The station was buzzing with the restless shuffle of travelers' heels clicking against the tiles, announcements echoing through old speakers, the smell of coffee and diesel mixing in the air. In the middle of the crowd, a young woman struggled against two heavy suitcases that seemed determined to topple her. Her arms trembled as she tried to lift them onto the train steps, but they were far too heavy. She wasn't just tired. She was exhausted in a way only a single mom could understand, the kind of weariness that clings to your bones. Behind her, a little girl clutched a worn-out teddy bear, looking anxiously between her mother and the train doors that threatened to close. "Mommy, hurry!" the girl whispered, her voice trembling. The mother gritted her teeth, trying again, but the suitcase barely budged. She could feel the stares of strangers brushing against her back, but no one stopped. People were too busy, too distracted, too wrapped up in their own worlds. And then, "Let me help." The voice was deep, calm, and steady. She turned to see a man broad-shouldered, with tired eyes that carried their own story. He was holding a small boy's hand, the child balancing a superhero backpack too big for his little frame. The woman hesitated, breathless. I don't want to bother you." But the man was already moving. With a quiet strength, he lifted both her suitcases, one after the other, onto the train as if they weighed nothing. His son climbed up behind him, glancing curiously at the little girl with the teddy bear. "Thank you," the woman murmured, her eyes burning with sudden tears. The man nodded, a faint smile tugging at his lips. "I know what it's like. Traveling with kids, trying to do it all yourself, it's not easy." The words hit her harder than she expected. There was no judgment in his tone, only understanding. The kind that comes from lived experience. As the train lurched forward, the two parents ended up sitting across from each other. Their children, shy at first, exchanged glances. The boy pointed at the girl's teddy bear, whispering something about superheroes needing sidekicks. The girl giggled, holding out the bear as if to introduce it. For the first time that day, the woman relaxed into her seat. She noticed the man watching his son with quiet pride, and something about his expression softened her. "Are you traveling far?" she asked. He chuckled. "Not far. Just trying to give my boy a little adventure. He deserves more than I can always give." Her heart ached at his honesty. "I understand. I've been trying to give my daughter stability. But some days it feels like the world's too heavy, like those suitcases." He nodded, as if her words were his own. And in that small space between train seats, two strangers each carrying invisible weights found a strange comfort in knowing they weren't alone. The children soon started laughing together, swapping stories about superheroes and teddy bear rescues. Their joy filled the space with something light, something hopeful. Passengers who had ignored the struggling mother before now smiled quietly at the sight of the two kids, so naturally connected. When the train finally pulled into the next station, the man stood and lifted her suitcases down again, steady and sure. "Thank you," she said once more, her voice steadier this time. He looked at her, and then at their children who were still laughing, still holding on to each other's stories as if they'd been friends for years. "Sometimes," he said softly, "it's easier when someone just steps forward." And for the first time in a long while, she felt lighter, not because the suitcases were gone, but because she no longer felt like she was carrying the journey all alone. The doors closed, the train pulled away, and two families once strangers walked out into the world, a little less burdened than before.